Good afternoon, good afternoon. So, today with me I have brought two partners. First of all, there is Catherine Brocklehurst. She works with Claroty, and she's the partner marketing director globally. And secondly, I brought with me Christian Heinrichs. He works with McAfee as the director for pre-sales for Central Europe. Welcome on stage. So we can do it in front of the table or whatever you want. So first of all, this is designed to be a session where you can ask questions on industrial security to us, right? So if there is anyone who wants to shoot a question, feel free. I have a microphone. I can come to you so that you can ask the question. So starting up, is there anyone who likes to volunteer? You are okay, perfect. Come on, then here you go.
Thank you very much. We heard a couple of years ago that there is some kind of virus hitting the CPU for some kind of PLC from Siemens.
Right.
I want to know, is it real? And is there any way to solve this and to avoid this in the future?
Okay, so that's a very good question. Let me rephrase a little, because I guess so that everybody knows the context. I guess what you are mentioning is a topic that we have learned around Stuxnet roughly 9 years ago, and this has been hitting manufacturing environment. For us as Siemens, and I guess also for our partners, this was the changer in the business for cybersecurity. So, Catherine, what is your take on that?
The question being, what is the take that industrial systems are vulnerable?
Exactly.
Okay, and absolutely true, beginning in the Stuxnet era that we became aware of it. But if you look at the trends, you'll see that since Stuxnet, the attack curve, more or less the attackers and issues that come about with the ICS is just on the rise. And defenders are having a hard time because these are environments that can't change very rapidly. So it is definitely something you have to have defenses in place for.
Christian, something to add?
Yeah, so right before Stuxnet, Siemens and I and McAfee started these cooperation we are still having, and it's a very successful cooperation by protecting industrial devices, and if everybody would have this kind of protection we developed together at that time, Stuxnet wouldn't have any effect on any automation systems.
So, and let me add to your question. So what we have seen and what we have done in the meantime, so that is nine years already, is a long time. We have conducted many changes in the automation systems and in the surrounding capabilities by also applying the leading standard, which is the IEC 62443. And so many of the things that we have changed in the controllers, in the HMIs, in the SCADA systems or in the DCS, in the PCS7 systems around it, you can see all over the fair currently, and I'm gladly inviting you to join us later, and we can show and demonstrate some of the use cases actually on the fair. Perfect. Anyone else has a question? All right, so I know that the second question may be the hardest. I have some for you. Everyone is talking as a hot topic on IT-OT convergence, right? So, and security in the digital enterprise. What do you think? What is your take on it? Catherine?
Well, they should be, because as you pointed out, the systems are vulnerable, they're old, it's hard to get upgraded systems, patching is very difficult, and no matter what, in an operations setting, the process has to continue, because revenue counts on it most of the time. And most of the processes that go on, or the systems and the maintenance that goes on in IT, is not applicable to an operations or a factory and plant environment. So I think that it's essential that people be focused on it, be talking to their vendors about what's available and how to make upgrades, and be putting in defenses. Our technology at Claroty does this, and working with trying to bring IT and OT together a very tough challenge. It's kind of like marital counseling. they don't always trust one another, and it doesn't always work, but that is a good place to start, bringing them together.
Okay. Christian.
Yeah, IT and OT, it took a long time until these two worlds started to go together and be in one network. In the meantime, everything is connected to each other, and there's a lot of work to do in the OT space especially, but with partnerships like Siemens and McAfee, I think we brought together the technology that's required to combine and protect these worlds, to make sure that the same security level is applicable to the OT world that we already have for many years in the IT world.
So, Christian, when we take a look at our end customers, right? The operators that may be in critical infrastructure or may not be in critical infrastructure. So, what are the challenges that you currently see?
What we see is a lot of customers moving with both worlds, IT and OT, into the cloud and cloud environments, and are struggling on both sides with security. Cloud is undefined space in some areas, and a lot of customers struggling to find the best way to go there. And especially as we talk about manufacturing data and intellectual property in this space, it's extremely important to protect this data, and so security is a business enabler in the meantime, and so that's what we need to drive together to make sure we can really leverage the power of cloud technologies here.
Okay, perfect. Catherine, what do you think? What are the challenges we see?
Well, in our customer situation, we've had a few interesting things come up where a customer came to us, someone who came a customer, and their customers were asking them to guarantee and demonstrate the security that they had in their processes and factory. So it was almost a customer-driven decision to bring a deeper level of security into their processes and factory. And then another couple things is, ever since NotPetya, you don't have to be a target. It's not like Russia. You really don't have to be a target to end up being a victim. A well-meaning employee opening the wrong email, perhaps, and then just the way the protocol communicated internally, before you know it, the factory's down. And it did happen. So that was a big lesson learned, that you don't really have to be targeted to actually be collateral damage in the factory.
Right, yes. I imagine NotPetya or WannaCry.
WannaCry?
Right, these were prime examples for collateral damage. Yeah. So, Catherine, when you think about the challenges that you just described, together with us as Siemens, how do we approach these challenges?
Well, I would add in content to the operations and plant side that they're, in general, not as familiar with security and security principles. And so the more we can work together to make it easy to bring security into the plant and not disrupt the work that they're trying to get done and the bottom line they're trying to preserve, the better that the customer will be. Okay. So it's good to work, and in our case, we're embedding our technology on many of the components inside the switches and other technology that we can, we're doing together. And that's going to make it easier for a customer to get it, deploy it. It's smaller, it's more compact and fast and easy.
All right. Christian.
Yeah, so especially, as Catherine said, reliability and stability is an important part in this area. And so that's why we really appreciate the partnership for nearly 10 years now with McAfee and Siemens. So we did a lot of testing together, a lot of stability, proving, and to make sure that we don't introduce new challenges to the factory just by security. So that security really enables the production, also when it's spread all over different plants and different buildings here.
Perfect. So let me ask once more again. So is there any burning questions that you would like to ask now while we are on stage? Anyone? No? Perfect. So then maybe one final advice that the audience here, but also the audience in the live stream can follow through. So if we have a customer that basically starts at zero, right? What is your advice? What are the major, let's say, 3 takeaways this customer shall follow through when he starts with cybersecurity?
Well, we actually talked about this. This is a tough question because every circumstance is different and a lot of your environments are very different. So where do you start is the question. And I would say, we always think about security assessments and trying to just do something that doesn't change everything all at once, but just figures out where the gaps are. What is the most critical in your environment that you might need? But of course, selfishly, I would love for them to just plug our product into their switch, the Siemens switch, and begin to take a look at the assets that are there. We do this passively, and it doesn't impact any of the ICS and the processes in place. And the information you begin to see almost immediately is just very telling. And IT and OT can sit down around it together along with Siemens.
All right, Christian.
Yeah, so from McAfee's point of view, it's always you can only protect what you know, and you should know your environment. So getting visibility into the environment, understanding your processes, understanding your networks, and then apply the right security level on all different technical parts. So that's something that really needs to be it needs a structured approach, needs a solid security architecture in the background, not just point solutions. And third thing is absolutely needed is a strong partner, because the best technology is useless if you don't have a good partner like Siemens who can understand your business and implement these kind of technologies into your environment. Yeah. So that's the key things to really secure for the future.
Okay. Thank you very much, Catherine and Christian. And if you want to experience and see live what we are doing together with our partners and also the results that have been conducted and all the changes that we have gone through since Stuxnet, you can visit us on the booth Beyond Future Technology. So you can go beyond the future to get to us. We are happy to have you there, and thank you very much. Back to you, Christina.
Siemens. Ingenuity for life.